Well, what is very important here is that the matter has been admitted. The Supreme Court will hear this particular issue. Now, this is something that Singhvi had been opposing, saying that, look, this is not the forum. High Court is the forum, or the Speaker's entire jurisdiction must prevail. The Supreme Court has not sided at this moment with Singhvi and therefore the Uddhav camp. It has sided with the Shinde camp. The matter will be admitted in court. Very, very important, very, very significant, viewers. Also, notices now sent to the Deputy Speaker, Secretary of the State Legislative Assembly, State of Maharashtra, Ajay Chaudhary, the Sena Legislative Party, and SG accepts the notice for the Union of India. So all these 5 parties will now have to respond, and the response has to come in by the next few hours, I think, 5:30.
He's talking about the deadline that was set by the Deputy Speaker.
So we don't quite know by when they have to respond. We are getting that information in just a few moments. So very important turn of events. At least as far as the jurisdiction is concerned, the Supreme Court has said that the matter lies in their domain and that they, in fact, will be hearing this matter. No question of this matter going to the High Court or to any other forum like the Speaker. The Speaker, as you know, viewers, cannot decide upon his own case. That is what the Supreme Court has concluded. So dictation is still on. We are expecting more information as to by when the 5 authorities have to respond. So we're talking about the Deputy Speaker, the Secretary of State, Legislative Assembly, State of Maharashtra, Ajay Chaudhary, the Sena Legislative Party, and the Union of India. So all 5 parties will now have to respond to this. Prima facie, viewers, Abhishek Manu Singhvi's argument or contention that this matter cannot be heard by the Supreme Court has not been accepted. The Supreme Court has taken it upon itself now to decide upon whether the Deputy Speaker committed an impropriety or an illegality by disqualifying these various MLAs of the Shinde camp. So the Shinde camp can take heart from the fact that their matter will be heard. Responses now been sought by the Deputy Speaker. 3 days, 3 days time, 72 hours, viewers, is the time that is being set. 72 hours is the time. 3 days have been given. That is what we are hearing, but there is still no confirmation on that. We are being told that that might be 3 days. Oh, well, it's 5 days. It's been 5 days, not 3 days. So 5 days, viewers. 5 days has been given. So till the end of the week, really, till Friday, is when these 5 authorities will have to respond to the basic directions from the Supreme Court seeking their responses on this matter. So this issue will stretch out for another 5 days, viewers. That's really the bullet point headline. This issue is going to stretch for another 5 days. And we have with us some noted lawyers, Mr. Kothari and Abha Singh with us. Mr. Kothari, very importantly, it appears that at least prima facie the Shinde camp has been heard sympathetically by the bench. The bench says that we are the authority to hear this matter. The Deputy Speaker cannot be an authority to hear a matter where he is being impugned, and therefore the next hearing has been set for July 11th. Mr. Kothari.
Yes, absolutely, Rahul. The Supreme Court has made it very clear to the both the sides, in fact, that we are the ultimate arbiter of the Constitution, and especially when it comes to the Speaker's powers, and especially more so when his appointment is in question. You cannot quote the Kyoto Holohan judgment and tell us that our power of scrutiny is limited. That power applies only, limited power of scrutiny applies only when the Speaker has been legitimately appointed. Here, his appointment itself is in question. So obviously you cannot take away that power of review from us. So the Supreme Court is calling the shots here and making it very clear that you put everything on an affidavit so that things become clear to us, and then we will, approach the matter at hand in a very, very effective manner. And mostly, I think, Rahul, from the way it sounds to me, they are going to come to a conclusion, maybe after 4 days, maybe after a series of arguments, that the Speaker's appointment was not legitimate itself because the Uddhav Thackeray government did not have the power to do so because it did not have the numbers in question to do so, especially when 30 to 40 MLAs had defected. So that is one of the crucial points that it takes away, that we can take away from today's hearing. And the fact is,
Sabha Singh, do you agree with what Swapnil Kothari has just said?
No. See, the issue is not here of Speaker's appointment. The issue here is whether he can issue the disqualification notice to the dissenting MLAs of Shiv Sena.
Okay, more updates coming in. I'm sorry to interrupt. Abha Singh, just coming to you. Justice Khan says, why can't the Deputy Speaker hold the proceedings in abeyance till then, which is July 11th? This is the latest from the courtroom. Justice Khan has given 5 days time for all sides to respond, including the Union of India. And now he says, why can't the Deputy Speaker hold the proceedings in abeyance till then, which is till July 11? This is after the court said that we will now hear the Speaker's notice. Abha Singh.
I was saying that is what the Supreme Court is saying. We will listen. First hear the Speaker's notice of disqualification, and when they say they say that you cannot preside, the Constitution is very clear. Article 181 clearly says that the Speaker and Deputy Speaker cannot preside when their resolution of removal is there. So it is not the Speaker's removal. That is very clear. If the removal resolution is there in the Assembly, they will not preside over it. But here the issue is that the Deputy Speaker has given a notice of disqualification.
Okay, but it's not over. It's not over because Devdutt Kamath, who is representing the state government, state of Maharashtra, strongly objecting to any stay. He says court cannot interfere at this stage. Courts cannot interfere at this stage, says the Maharashtra government lawyer, Devdutt Kamath. This is after the court says next hearing on July 11th. Notice served to all sides, but Maharashtra government lawyer Devdutt Kamath strongly objecting to this, says nothing doing. The courts cannot interfere. Nilashish.
Well, absolutely, Pranesh. This is the entire contour of this particular hearing today. Whether or not there will be an interim stay, that is the question. Notices have been issued 5 days from now. Counter has to be filed 3 days from then, and the rejoinders have to be filed. Hearing will happen on the 11th. But till then, what happens? The question is that both sides will be eagerly looking at whether or not there is a stay as far as the proceedings in the House are concerned. Whether the Deputy Speaker can, in fact, go ahead with the disqualification motion. Is that actually going to be allowed? Or whether, as Justice Kant has inquired, will there be an allowance for the Deputy Speaker to go ahead with his proceedings in abeyance of this particular motion as far as disqualification is concerned? That is the entire issue on which today's hearing is balanced on, and we have to wait and watch whether or not that aspect is stayed or not.
Yes, Mr. Kothari, how do you see this?
Well, obviously there has to be a stay granted, because otherwise what is the purpose of this entire set of arguments? Why post the matter till July 11th if you are not going to stay the proceedings, simply because the question of notice arises only when whether or not you had the power to issue the notice is because whether or not you were legitimately appointed. Otherwise, who's going to question the power to issue notice? Obviously, the Deputy Speaker has the power to issue the notice if he's not legitimately appointed. So that is the moot question. That is where you have to attack first, and that is exactly where the prongs of Mr. Abhishek Manu Sangvi were. First of all, why leapfrog to the Supreme Court? Secondly, if you have leapfrog to the Supreme Court, then why you do not have the power
but the
to
crux of the petition, Mr. Kothari, is that the Shinde camp needs stay because the deadline set by the Deputy Speaker is a few hours from now, 5:30 this evening.
Naturally, so that's why there is going to be a stay. Otherwise, what is the point? Otherwise, why post the matter to July and post the matter till 5:30 p.m.? So obviously, the stay is the next best answer to this, and obviously they are going to be given a stay. The Shinde camp will need a stay. Otherwise, how are they going to respond? Otherwise, they'll be disqualified after 5:30. So, and more so, the Speaker.
Okay, here's